Hey everybody, Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World Electronics. I've got all of my servers here, and I took the little baby Cybertron and I have it running. I tried it out. Actually, I opened up the case and it has a 500 gig 3.5 inch hard drive and two 120 gig solid state hard drives from Seagate. So I played around in BIOS and I tried to boot it up and it wasn't doing it, and it kept rebooting and rebooting and rebooting. It was in a recycling mode, just kept cycling through reboot, reboot, reboot. So I figured there's no operating system, and I played around in BIOS a bit and found out we have a quad-core Atom processor with 1.8 gigahertz. Not bad, a quad-core Atom. It's not a mega powerful server for anything. So I have no idea what they were trying to do with this in the tower, the rack mount. But it was up in the side, up inside. There was a switch on one side, and this was butted up on the other side, up against it. So that's why this one was missed and not stripped out at all. Anyway, it seemed good. So the next thing I did is I went in and I downloaded Linux Mint, and I set up a boot USB, because there's no external way to get to boot on this thing. There's no CD or DVD. So then I brought that in, and I have Linux Mint running. So this is my first experiment with Linux Mint. I've never messed with it before, never seen it before, and I'm gonna, this is actually, it says right here, first time ever, welcome to Linux Mint. Welcome to your new operating system. So it works. Now I'm going to play around and see. This little guy has 4 gigs of RAM. Two or four. I want to say 4, but I think it was actually 2 gigs of RAM. Sorry. A 4-core Atom processor with 1.8 gigahertz and 2 gigs of RAM, if I remember right. And a 500 gig hard drive and 2 120s. Well, the 2 120s I'm probably going to pull out. Actually, I'm probably going to redo everything now that I know it works, and use one of the 120s as a boot hard drive, take out the 500 and use it on one of my mining rigs. I won't use it on anything super valuable or super sensitive because I don't know how old they are. And the other 120 has a bad sector. I'll probably use it for a mining rig as well. Something that's not like mission critical. And Microsoft is always nuking my operating systems anyway, so that won't be a major loss. I'm always rebuilding Windows on my mining rigs. Anyway, I'm going to experiment here and play around and see if a Atom server is worth anything. It is loud. I don't know if you can hear that. My DIY tube miner is sitting right here next to that, and as you can see, I got my water, I got my coffee. This is where I work. So, but it's loud. It's got a really loud fan in the back, and the thing runs cool to the touch. Very, very cool. So the fans are definitely more than it needs to keep it running nice. I'm going to experiment. I'll play around and I'll show you, give you my thoughts of Linux Mint on an Atom computer. The first thing I ever did is I clicked on Firefox, which is built in. And interesting, when I clicked the browser, the bar up here, already pre-stored is YouTube, Facebook, Amazon, Reddit, Wikipedia, and Twitter. Right there. So I'm going to click YouTube and we'll just see what it takes to load. How long it takes to load. It's a quad core. I mean, it's not that bad. It shouldn't be too bad. Now, my internet isn't good on a good day. I've got 6 meg download. Wow, that's crisp. Crisp display. It's VGA. It's a server, so it's VGA output. It's loading. So this is your static YouTube homepage on a computer I've never seen. It's got a very interesting variety and collection of suggested videos. Very wide variety of stuff. Alright, well, I'm going to play around. Hey, let's just click on a video. Now, there's no audio on this. I'm going to have to get a USB audio just to see how fast it takes, or how long it takes to load a video. If it can play a video smoothly. It is taking a few seconds to load here. There is another RAM slot, so I might have to check that out. And see what happens when I open it up full screen, if the computer can handle it. We have a big gun. Oh, there's some buffering. Now, I don't know if that's my internet. Oh, okay, it took a minute. The ad came up, and that took some time to, It's not super fast. It's not the smoothest video I've ever seen. It is working. We'll see what happens. I can't play this too far, or I will get in trouble. I can play little clips and segments. Well, guys, there's one thing. I'll open up DIY-tube. Let me get my hands free, and we'll come back. See how quick things load. It might be, though. I don't know if this system is setting up, too, in the background still. This is my first time booting. So we'll see what happens. Alright, hit enter. I typed it in. Hit enter. See how long it takes for DIY-tube to load. My thinking is, if I can use this as a home workstation tied into my server is the main computer. It's still loading. There it is. Let me see. Yeah, it's still loading. It's not mega fast. I could probably handle another two, or I don't know how much memory it can take. I think there's 2 gigs. They can probably use another 2 gigs. Alright guys, well I'm going to play around with this and see if it's any good. Linux Mint on a Atom computer. So, I have 2 gigs of memory, and I'm wondering if I want 2 more gigs to smooth out video play. I tried to install GIMP, which is my favorite image editor, and that failed to load. There were some dependencies that wouldn't load. I'll have to mess with that again another time. I have the system monitor up, and right now there's nothing going on. There's only one. What I love, though, it shows core 1, 2, 3, and 4. It shows all 4 cores right here. Really cool. It shows that we're looking at 1 or 0, 1, 2, 5%. It fluctuates. We're only looking at 836 meg RAM used out of 2 gigs. We're using 50 meg out of 2 gig swap file. That's pretty cool. And definitely it's a quad core onboard graphics. I'm looking at system reports. I have a Super Micro X7 SPA-H motherboard and American Megatrends BIOS. So just standard parts in here. I'm going to open up my browser again, and I want to see what it does to my system monitor. Now we're looking at 20, 30, 50%. I want to keep my system CPU monitor over here on the side. And I want to see, now we're looking at 80% across the board. Okay, I got a video open, one of my own. I'm scrapping the other clips I did only because I figure it's better to show my video because I can't get in trouble for showing my video, and what more appropriate than showing the servers that I just got, one of which I'm working on. Anyway, let's let that play. brief buffer. All right, let's see if this plays smooth. I'm looking at 90 to 99%, 100% CPU usage on all 4 cores. I'm only using 1.3 gigs of RAM though, and I've got a 99 meg swap file. I don't know what happens if I go full screen, what's going to happen. It is playing in a theater mode. I think I have, what, theater mode? So it's not very crisp, but that's my video. That was my camera. It was dark when I recorded. Well, there was a little bit of catching in the video, so I don't think that I can play ultra smooth. I'm still sitting at 1.3 gigs of memory used out of 1.9. 67%, 68% of the memory used. Swap file only 4.8%. But I'm maxing out on CPU, all 4 CPUs. So that might be my limitation right there, my limiting factor. Let's go full screen and see what happens to our video quality. It takes a second to resize. Of course, that happens on my large computer. Oh, there we had a little bit of a problem there. Yeah, we lost some time on the video. Let me go back. So, sweeping video screen is going to freeze it. You can't hack it. So, I don't know if I'm going to be able to play video on this. I'm just experimenting. I was hoping to use this as a living room server and run everything through it. Maybe. No, I wouldn't be able. I don't know. What would happen if I tried to run my Dell 710 as a normal server and open up a window to access that through virtualization and play a video through there? I wonder how that would work out. Well, got some experiments to try out. We're back to resting speed. CPU's going back down. We're still got 1.2 gig of RAM. If I close that, I bet that's going to dump. Yeah. Now we're down to a couple megs. Well, it's interesting. I'm going to play around with this system. I'm going to play around with Linux Mint. It's just like any other Linux. I mean, like any other GUI system. Once you know a few of them, they're all pretty comfortable to use. The network installed flawlessly. All the drivers installed flawlessly. I had no problems and no issues. And during the install, since there's only 2 USB ports, I didn't have a hub on. I had to constantly remove either the mouse or the keyboard because I had to have the install driver in, and it instantly recognized when I pulled out the one to put in the other. It instantly recognized because this was taking up one port, and to do setup I constantly had to swap these 2 guys in the bottom port, and it worked, and it was flawless. So I got no complaint with that. So far I'm enjoying it, and it works on a tiny little baby server. So I'll keep playing with it over the next couple days, see if I can get myself a USB audio adapter, put a USB hub on this, and see if it can be useful for anything. Maybe reduce the fan power in the back, get something a little bit less loud for living room use. It's running cool anyway. There's absolutely no heat coming out of there. And see what happens. I might have a very, very low powered workstation tied into the server. The server will do all the work. The idea is to have low powered workstations, high powered server. Server is going to be my security system, data center, and workhorse. And then these guys will just be used to tie in from whatever room I'm working in at the time. That'd be pretty cool. That's the goal. Alright guys, Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World Electronics. Some cool experiments with servers going on here at the Off-Grid Homestead. Well, please like, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned for more exciting videos here. Talk to y'all later. Oh, and hit that bell icon, get notifications. Sometimes that doesn't work. Talk to you later.